Welcome to day 55 of the 300 Movie Challenge. Today we watched the highest grossing film of December 1998, which was Shakespeare in Love.
This is what happens.
Are we done? Okay, I think this review is done now.
We don't need to say anything else about this movie.
No, I think the cough kind of said everything that I wanted to say.
I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
This won Best Picture at the Academy Awards.
It really shouldn't have.
No.
Screenplay and actress.
And actor.
Supporting actress.
Oh.
Okay, like seriously, why was everyone, including like Shakespeare, a douchebag in this movie?
Yeah, okay. Especially the problem with Shakespeare is that like he's first of all he doesn't like really look like what I thought he would look like. But even ignoring that, because I mean, as like we were just looking this up and people don't really know what he looked like, so okay, fine. But ignoring that, he's like in the beginning of the movie, he's like, I have lost my genius, and it's like, who the fuck talks like that? Like, come on.
A narcissist.
Yeah, Donald Trump talks like that. It's like, come on.
Shots fired.
Except he would never admit that he's ever would lose a genius to begin with. But whatever, the point still remains. And the fucking the whole premise of this movie doesn't work. The premise of the movie is that the play Romeo and Juliet was actually inspired by a real love that Shakespeare had.
Yeah.
The problem with that is that the love in Romeo and Juliet is fucking cliched and stupid. So you're implying that this stupid and vapid love story was actual real life happening. Which doesn't fucking work because humans do not do that. It's so stupid and contrived, and it's just everyone's annoying. Well, not even annoying. They just act stupid. And it actually has the same problem that I have with the play. I don't really like Romeo and Juliet as a play because I feel like there's so many obvious ways that it could have gone differently. Like the story.
Yeah.
The story is contrived as fuck because you can definitely have, again, Romeo kills himself because, like, someone didn't tell him this whole plan? Like, are you fucking kidding me? That's the dumbest shit ever. Like, it's... So because you have that and you're basing it saying, oh, that's based on true events, is like, no, it doesn't fucking work. It's just it's so aggravating because at the beginning I thought as soon as Shakespeare started speaking, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna like this movie, and but at least I was hoping that it's at least gonna be just kinda but then it felt like every minute I went by, it was like
it got worse.
It was like I felt like I was Metacritic, and I started at 50, and every minute that went by, I dropped 1, and it just kept going all the way down. And it's just, this movie's fucking shit. And again,
you were in a submarine, Valen.
Yes,
It's negative 70 now.
Jesus, I fucking can't stand this shit.
You made it to the Titanic.
Oh.
I'd rather watch that again many times. Or at least the last half many times.
For real, though.
Not only that, but going off of what Valen said, too, the reason that Shakespeare even wrote the play was to make fun of teenage romance.
Yeah.
Oh, the fact that he would base this off of his actual life, quote-unquote, doesn't make any sense either.
No.
And there's also that long-standing theory that Shakespeare was gay, and I guess I'll go into that. I am an English major, so I read a large number of his work, primarily past Romeo and Juliet, because I can't stand Romeo and Juliet. So
one thing we'll agree on.
Yeah, there's a lot of homoerotic subtext. And if people don't know what that means for some reason, it's basically, there's a lot of gay undertones to a lot of his work.
Sometimes they're gay overtones.
Sometimes they're gay overtones, and there are theories that his dark lady from his sonnets is actually a man because of how manly she sounds or something. And I don't know if this is true, but just the sheer fact that someone is going to take this concept and apply it to such a well-known playwright that I don't I don't like him like particularly, but I respect him enough to know that this is a bastardization of the poor guy's life. So I'm sorry, Shakespeare.
Ugh,
you have my condolences.
It's just, again, I can't. Cause I said this before. I'm super critical about romances because I guess I'm in one. That's part of it. But it's like, they don't act like people who are actually in love with each other, and that was that's at least an excusable issue in a fictional story. But when you're trying to say that, and I know that this is a fictional story, but at least in this world that they've set up, this is a real thing, it doesn't work. Because, again, you're just saying, like, oh, you know, when they're fucking basically, like, reciting, like, made-up poetry to each other. It's like, no one fucking does that. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, if I say anything mildly like that, it's, like, obvious that I'm fucking being, like, joking around and, like, being over the top for the sake of being over the top, where they're genuinely like, your love is like the endless sea, and it's like, shut up, you fucking bitch. Like, it's so goddamn. Oh, okay, and then somehow we missed this, but apparently this woman who is, you know, the Juliet inspiration, like, was actually the original actor playing Romeo disguised as a boy.
I noticed that.
The thing is, like, I thought that was what it was at first, but then I'm like, well, no, it's not, because I noticed the hair, and I was like, there's no way that her hair would fit in there, so it's obviously some other person. But then he's like making out with them, and I'm like, why the fuck is Shakespeare making out with some random dude? It, like, made no fucking sense. And, like, I guess when it was finally revealed that it was her, like, it does make sense, but it still doesn't work, because I'm like, your hair doesn't work. And
no, the hair never fit into the wig, and I was like, that's not how...
From my point of view, him making out with the dude makes sense because of the whole, the thing that I talked about, like, a couple minutes ago.
Fine, but the movie doesn't go into that at all otherwise.
But yeah,
so it
the
just
movie
seems like,
does
to
not...
me, I'm just randomly like, wait, why is Shakespeare making out with a guy? Like, where did this come from? And again, it does, I guess, make sense when they reveal it, but, like, before then, and the point leading up to it doesn't make any sense at all. So it just,
her hair definitely does. Her hair too big to fit under that wig.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Her hair too big.
I think probably they didn't even put a wig on the actress. It was probably they cut the actress's hair to look like that.
And then the wig was the blonde hair or something.
Possibly, they probably maybe switched it around, but there's no way, upon looking at the hair, that her big.
She had like my
hair.
Yeah, her hair was really, like, thick, too.
Yeah.
There's no way.
There's no way. So... And then, okay, I think it makes even less sense. The way it was revealed was that, like, a rat dropped in the shirt or whatever. I don't fucking know. But...
A mouse, yeah.
Yeah, in response... She, like, in the freak out, she takes off the wig? What? Like, why does that something
it was in
you
her
would
shirt.
Do? Yeah, it's like, why would you even do that? I mean, I get, like,
Yeah.
freaking out, and they might be like, oh, you know, if you were a man, you wouldn't freak out, and they could pull some of that shit, I guess. But it's like, that would at least make a little bit more sense than, like, something fell in my shirt, I'm gonna take off my wig. What?
Yeah.
It's just...
That doesn't make any sense.
No.
And I have 2 pointers with that, too. One is that in Mulan, there was, like, the normal reaction, and she was dressed as a man in that thing, and nothing happened.
Yeah, she just hit, like, everyone around her.
Yeah. Though there was that one scene where Shang just had to look down, but just glossing over that. The other thing, too, is I'm not exactly sure about what the fashion sense was at this time, but wasn't it a thing for, like, all men to have really long hair?
I don't know.
Oh, wait. I think it was, like, in the 1960 version of, like, Romeo and Juliet that probably everyone has watched, like, the movie.
Yeah.
Didn't everyone have, like, shoulder-length hair?
I don't remember enough.
So?
And, like, this is the movie
Wait,
where, like, Romeo
when did-
looks like Zac Efron.
Oh my god.
If you guys in the audience want to, like, remember or, like, dig up your PTSD, there you go.
Well, I mean, Shakespeare in this portrait that
I
he
expected-
has on his Wikipedia page, he has hair that's longer than it's ears and kind of like curls around his neck, so I'm going to presume that long hair was a thing.
Yeah, I expected the Shakespeare in this movie to be a little bit more bald at the top, but
Yeah,
that was just me.
Yeah, the Shakespeare.
That was just me.
The Shakespeare in this movie looks like a 25-year-old dude, bro.
Yeah.
It's just
You
doesn't
almost
work.
expect him to say, "Do you lift, bro?"
Well, he's not. No,
And
he's
go to
not.
frat
He's not buff, but yeah, he's like a frat boy kind of dude. That's what he
Yeah.
looks like. He has like kind of the.
He
douchey,
looks like a
beard
fuck
and
boy.
stuff. Yeah, exactly.
He looks like a fuckboy.
Let me look at fashion, hairstyles.
Oh my god.
1500s. It was the 1500s.
1600.
No, it was the 1600s.
Oh, was it?
Well, the movie was at least set in the 1600s. I don't even know if that was legitimate in
it-
terms of that's when
it
Shakespeare
barely
was alive.
matters.
I need men. No, they're showing a bunch of women, and I'm just like,
No one cares about men's fashion. Apparently.
well, yeah, it is a thing because I see a couple of dudes that have really long hair.
I don't know. It's,
Like-
I mean, well, think about like the
Like,
the
wait, look, here's King Louis. Like, there's a king with that hair.
Well, that's what I was about to say. This is like would be about the same time period as the time period in The Man in the Iron Mask,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
And they all
That's
had
what we're
long hair in
saying.
that. So
How everyone had long hair and looked the same. We had to tell them by their beards.
yeah,
Yeah.
but here it's like mostly short. Some of them aren't, but it's like I mean, it doesn't really fucking matter, I guess. Like, well, again, the other people at least don't look weird, right?
Yeah.
Shakespeare
Yeah.
looks weird in this
Yeah.
movie.
He looks
doesn't
out
fit.
of place.
Yeah.
But my point with the long hair is that even if you tried to contest that her hair gave it away and stuff, everyone is supposed to have
right.
long hair at that time period.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would then there wouldn't have really been a problem unless they like stripped her.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it's a bad movie in concept that could have only been saved if they had like the perfect script and the perfect acting, and that it wasn't even, you know what I mean? It just doesn't work at all. They would have had again
I get what you
just
mean.
by premise. This is just not a good thing to do, and they don't even do that thing well.
No.
This movie is like legitimate. I don't even want to know. I don't even know if it's disappointing. I mean, it is, but it's like
I'm just offended and angry.
it's
As
so,
the English major, yes.
Yeah.
it's just so. I did not think this would be this bad, especially
didn't either.
especially again since it won like 4 Academy Awards and all this shit.
4 or was it 7?
Something it won a lot.
It was too many.
Yeah,
It was
it
too
shouldn't
many.
have been nominated for anything.
No.
And it's like, considering that we all collectively agree that this is the second worst movie of the year, it had
You know
no
what that
right.
means?
It had no right to win any Academy Awards whatsoever.
Yeah.
Nope. Well, with that, you know what that means with this movie.
Yes.
Yes.
The puppies are getting a new toy.
Yes,
Yes.
the puppers.
The puppies.
The puppies
So with
get
that-
a new toy, and now we get to talk about the glory that was 1998.
It was very weird.
It
Yeah.
started and ended horribly.
Yeah.
And then it had a bunch of whiplash in between.
Yeah. It's yeah, I don't, can we just not even talk about January?
No.
Yeah,
Let's-
okay, we'll start
okay.
with February.
Yeah, okay.
What was February?
The Wedding Singer.
The Wedding Singer.
Oh yeah.
That was,
It was
fine.
Good enough.
Yeah. That was
For
good.
what it
enough.
was fine.
Yeah.
Which it's better than other things, so yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah. It was not anything in particularly special, but it was acceptable and existed.
We could sit through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something, I guess. March, Man in the Iron Mask, I thought was also at least acceptable, but again, it was
It
more.
was just a little bit weird, is all.
Yeah,
really
it was more of a
some
mixed
parts.
bag, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like Wedding
Yeah.
Singer, basically everything was okay. Man in the Iron Mask, there were some things that were pretty good, but then some things that were not.
No.
Yeah.
So it didn't. It was just kind of, and it was too long. That for sure.
Yeah.
Was too
It was
long.
far too long.
But again, it wasn't terrible, and it.
The next movie.
What even was the next movie? Oh, yeah,
City of
that.
Angels.
That was great. I want to watch that again.
Awkward, the movie.
I want to watch it again.
Awkward, the movie.
That was a movie. Yeah.
I don't think I can ever forget just that one scene in the library where he just has his eyebrows are just perpetually in the worried gaze and he looks just so creepy.
And then the whole thing where it's like, again, just that, oh, we're all finally in love and he's finally a human, and then she gets hit by a car.
It was like a Korean drama, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Or an Asian drama in general.
Oh my god, that fucking movie. It's so great. Speaking of so great, Godzilla.
How do you lose something that huge?
Oh, jeez, this was dumb. This was dumb, but we knew it would be dumb. So
Yeah.
it's
We knew what we expected what we got.
Yeah, we
basically.
got.
it's not really anything different than it's not really worse than we thought. It's pretty bad. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
if you were like excited for a Godzilla movie, you'd be disappointed, but I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Just whatever.
Mulan was the saving grace.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mulan's good. Mulan is good. Armageddon's not.
No.
Armageddon
It was disappointingly worse
bad.
than
Godzilla.
expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Ugh.
And then we went back up the ladder to what was next? I don't even remember.
Blade?
Blade. Oh yeah, it did go up the ladder.
Like a
Nice.
step. Or I mean, like it was nightmare fuel for like two of us, but
Yeah.
otherwise
I can't really say anything about the film still.
otherwise I liked at least the female lead. She was competent and she didn't get with Blade, so that was interesting enough.
It had moving pictures.
Yeah. The camera was on.
The
Yeah,
camera was
on.
the camera was
That's what I
on,
could say
and
about
you
the
didn't want it to be off in every scene.
film. Yeah. Except
If
I
anyone
wanted
knows
it
where
to
the
be
camera
off
is
in a
on
lot
is
of
from.
scenes.
Yeah.
And then Rush Hour was all right.
Yes.
It was
So-
funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good enough, I guess.
Life is beautiful. Just leaves a hole in your heart, basically.
Yeah.
It's very sad, but it's very good.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. It's good.
I
but
think
yeah.
that movie just needs to be understated. You have to watch it to really experience it.
Yeah.
It's true. And then
A Bug's Life.
A Bug's Life, kind of like
Very
honestly
forgettable.
kind of like Rush Hour, where it's like it's fine, good enough, I guess, but
Yeah.
it's it exists.
Rush Hour is definitely funnier, though.
Yeah.
That's true.
I would say A Bug's Life is more forgettable in Rush Hour. At least you'll remember some parts of it.
Yeah.
That's true. And then we had this,
Oh boy.
and that's all I want to say about it.
So that means we start and end with the Sora treatment this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Overall, thoughts on the year as a whole?
It wasn't quite as bad as the last two.
No.
It's
It
pretty
was-
close.
It's kind of in a weird state because of the first and last movie of this year.
and
But
it jumps
Yeah.
around all over the place. Like again,
Yeah.
I'd say again, like the average 98 movie is just kind of like okay,
Yeah.
right? If I were to
Yeah.
average everything out, it would probably be like okay to slightly negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like 97 and 96 were like negative,
Bad.
right?
Bad.
So, yeah, it's not quite like as bad as, well, it's definitely like worse than 94, even though despite some of the 94 films, just good 94 had some legitimately really good movies.
Yeah.
And then 95 is still quite good, so yeah,
Mhm.
but 90, yeah, this year was,
It was a thing that happened.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, looking forward to 99, I would think that's gonna be better, but I don't know. So,
I have hope for next year.
Yeah, well, okay, there's one thing in particular that, there's one thing that's a good movie that we've all seen.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's another, looking at it right now, there are...
Two good
movies, two that I think are at least decent movies, although I haven't really seen them. Another movie that I've heard before that I've heard is good, but, I mean, so was this movie was supposed to be good, so, and then another movie that I won't say is necessarily good, but we'll see.
Yeah.
At the very least, 99 has like stuff that we know of a little bit and are a little bit more familiar with. So
a lot of stuff
there's more familiar titles to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
as opposed to being like, what movie are we watching today? Oh, this one.
There's still some of those, but yeah, there's gonna be some of those like for a while, but before we really get into a lot of franchise stuff that we know, but.
Yeah.
It's something to look forward to, I guess.
Can I say one more thing about December 98?
Yes.
Sure.
I am very bitter that Prince of Egypt did not win this month.
Oh yeah, Prince of Egypt came out this month. And,
I am very, very bitter about that.
And I saw Prince of Egypt, but it was like, shortly after it came out. So, like, I definitely was younger than 10 when I saw Prince of Egypt. I haven't seen it since, so I would have liked to see that again, and maybe I could find some time to do that. But yeah, and that's actually, is that the first DreamWorks film?
I think it might
like
be
second
actually.
Or something?
It's one of the first.
It's one of the first for sure. I don't know if it is the first, but yeah. So that's something, because I know we will be getting to some of those.
Yes.
Fairly shortly, so that's something. But yeah.
Wait, wasn't there Anastasia? Or who did Anastasia?
That was Fox, wasn't it?
Yeah, well it's not. Oh, okay. Oh, duh. Okay. The first one was by DreamWorks was Ants.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, and that came out just a month before A Bug's Life. So,
awkward.
But yeah, I mean it's but yeah, then it gets a bunch of stuff and blah 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 blah. But anyway, we'll deal with that when we deal with that.
Yeah.
But so that was 1998. To greener pastures.
Ahead we go.
Yes.
Except we don't know the next movie.
No. And, well, I don't even want to think about it.
I already gave my farewell.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye!